Okay. Ooh. Okay. What misconceptions about men do you think single women have? What's up, guys? It's Gabby here. Thank you so much for clicking on this video and gabbing with me today. So we are going to go inside the mind of Christian men today, and I brought two special guests that are allowing us to go into their minds. So we have...
My name's William. I'm Gabe.
We're going in their minds today. We're going to ask them the most asked, most popular questions that single Christian women want to know. We're getting answers today, ladies, so let's jump right in. And I think, like, we said this off camera, but I want to say it on camera as well, is that this video is to really show us inside the minds. It's not really necessarily to be like, well, what about, but we need to know how do they perceive things in relation to how I do. I see it this way, and this video is to show us whether you think you're right or you're wrong. This is the way that most guys, or these guys, most Christian guys see things. So just keep that in mind, because I myself like want to like defend us ladies, but I'm like, don't want to be on defense. I want to learn and be like, okay, I can see where you guys are coming from with that. So just keep that in mind. Okay.
That's a good mindset to have.
Thank you. So what do you think is something men can do better to improve Christian dating?
Well, I think that a lot of times Christian men, when they go into a dating relationship, they're almost they can try to prove that they're this man of God and prove that they're, somebody that's following Christ. But if you focus on, treating her right, you have your stuff together, you guys are having fun, that will come out eventually. It's not going to necessarily, you have to like press it out and like, hey, like, what do you want to pray about today? Like, just be yourself, be cool, and then like, if you're really living that life that you say you are, it's going to show up.
For sure. I think you hit it spot on. That was it right there.
Spot on.
Yeah, spot
Well,
on.
anything else? Because I feel like men can improve dating. Women can too, but this is about you guys today. What other things would you say, like, if you were talking to a friend or somebody that you're mentoring, what would you say, you need to improve this in order for this to be a successful godly relationship?
Well, I would say I think you said a good word. Find some mentors. Maybe a couple that's engaged, maybe a couple that's kind of been through what you're going through with that person, who can kind of help you, to tell you guys what you need to do, what you shouldn't be doing, to kind of keep your relationship safe in that aspect.
Yeah, like accountability.
Yeah, like get you some mentors.
Okay, okay. What would you change about how women communicate with you? How would you change it?
Well, I think the one thing I would change is don't, because we're in church a lot, we're active in church. You don't have to approach me in such in a churchy manner. Just be yourself.
Very good, yeah.
Be real. Show me who you are when you approach me, and then I don't want to see the church in you right away. You know what I mean? So
I got
you. Be yourself. That's it.
And I like that because I feel like there's a difference between showing the God in you and showing the church in you.
Definitely
And that I never thought about that. So.
Definitely a difference.
Gotcha.
Get
But nails come right there.
That's word for word. I was gonna say.
What makes a woman approachable?
I think
I think.
a woman, like, for me, say we're like, if there's just like a man and woman, right?
Just a lady walking.
Just a lady walking, like, or in like a scene, like a church. Like, if I see how she like interacts with people, and if she's friendly towards other people, if she's, engaging, that makes me think that she's more approachable. But if she's kind of like standoffish and even like doesn't like look pleasant, like you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I never thought about that actually. Like how you see her with other people.
Yeah.
Will make you.
Are we talking about like in like a church setting or just like?
No, I just use that example.
Just in general.
Okay.
But how you see, because that's right. Like I wouldn't feel comfortable going up to anybody if I'm like, oh, they're gonna be.
Yeah, they're gonna blow me off.
Yeah, they're gonna blow me off, or they're gonna be. But how she is with other people around you
so
can kind of engage.
That would.
Yeah, mine is kind of the same thing. I would kind of piggyback on that a little bit. Like, what makes you approachable? What kind of attracts me to you is personality. Like, and another thing, joy. Like, I'm not attracted to anybody who's like, woe is me, anything. I'm attracted to smiles and laughter enjoy, that makes you approachable, and then it makes it easy because it's easy to talk to somebody when you're laughing and when you're happy. Like, it makes it easy. So I'm attracted to joy. Like, if you're a happy person, you're automatically approachable. Positive vibes.
So what would you say to women? Like, what would you say to women? And okay, we know, have joy and treat people around you the way you treat people around you makes me like approachable. So what, like, because there may be a day where a woman is not jumping up and down with joy. There may be a day where she is interacting with somebody and you don't see the positive side that you're looking for in her, and it's not really fair to disqualify her from a human moment that she may have. So how do you gauge from, oh, that's just that day, or that was just that situation, to, okay, that's kind of how she is?
I mean, the more you're around the person, you kind of could tell, how they act on a consistent basis. People do have bad days. We have days where we don't, feel like doing the things we do every day. I'm the type of person, like I said, I'm attracted to joy. So maybe I'll try and bring you some of that. Like, I'm like, hey,
so
what's going on with you? You okay? That's kind of something I would try and do. But
yeah, I think a good word that you used was consistency. Like, knowing how to up today, down tomorrow kind of person. And even if you do have a bad day, not everybody needs to know that. Not everybody needs to, experience your bad day because you're having a bad day and everybody's walking on eggshells. I have bad days all the time, but many people don't know about it because I'm not, letting my attitude,
you're not showing it.
Affect everybody else.
I think a thing that I want you guys to know and any guys to know is, and to be aware of, is like what I mentioned, that don't disqualify somebody if they are having a bad day. If you don't see positive in them 100% of the time, that's not any relationship. You're going to see some aspects of them that you don't like in any relationship. We see that in our friendships and our family relationships. So to be able to be mature enough to say, is that just today, or is that how she is? And giving people the second chance, because I've met people first time meeting them, and I'm like, ooh, they're not, this way. And then I meet them more, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you're totally different than what I thought it was. So those first moments that we have with somebody, or this first time we speak to them and things like that, even though having a vibe with somebody is obviously very important, to be able to see more than just one interaction that you have with that person. Does that make sense?
And it kind of brings me like to the don't judge a book by its cover kind of saying, because a vibe you can get from somebody, it may not be the right one. It just may be what you felt, but that may not have been their intent to give off. So that may not even be the personality. So just kind of get to know that person before you have this whole assumption of them that, they just got bad vibes all the time. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
Get to know that person.
And that's the importance of first impressions, because if you don't get that first impression, then not everybody's going to look at that the same way. Like, maybe that's just not bad day. Like, a lot of people can be like, that's who she is, and that's who she showed me the first time. So.
And I think for women, that this is really important for us to know. Like, dang, let me always be, like you guys said, let me always present, even if I don't feel this way, not just for a man, but in any relationship. You don't want, in a friendship, in a mentorship relationship, you don't want people to have this image of you that's not you. So always kind of putting your best foot forward. This is really good, guys.
That was a good question.
This is really good.
They don't have
yeah, that's good. Okay. Ooh. Okay. What misconceptions about men do you think single women have? Things that we think are single men are this, but you're like, that's totally not true.
I think one big one, and it's true in some cases, is that men don't want a good woman, or men don't want to settle down. I'm just going to say that because I don't know what else to say. But I think a lot of times, even like the guy that's sleeping around with most women, like, that guy still wants to be loved, and he still wants to be taken, care of, and, shown, good time or whatever. But I'm trying to word it right, so I don't miss what I'm trying to say. But I think that every guy does want to be loved, and even though some guy might not treat her right and may have done her right, it might have been a time in his life, but I think ultimately everybody in this world wants to be loved and wants love.
Well, for me, it's like, okay, transparent moment. All right, so I think, I mean, you hit it spot on with the misconception. So the whole, the guy doesn't want to settle down. He's a player, whatever. Transparent moment. Okay. So, just because, maybe, what am I trying to say? Okay. So like you said, maybe they think, the guy is not ready or he doesn't want to settle down or doesn't want something real with somebody. Maybe I do, but don't get this assumption of me because you're not that person that I want it with.
Right.
So just because it didn't happen with you or I didn't want it with you, now I'm not a good guy or now I'm not a Christian man or now
really
this is not what I want because it didn't happen with you.
So how would you feel about marrying a woman that makes more money than you?
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily mind. I think every man wants to provide for his wife and wants to be the breadwinner. Wants to be the breadwinner and, take care of his wife. But if that is the case, I think that the man needs to be doing something to contribute in the relationship. Like, you gotta be, make sure the house is on point, take care of the kids, do something that's gonna, kind of make up for it.
So would you be okay if the traditional roles were switched? She's working and you're staying at home with the kids?
I wouldn't. Would I want to be a stay-at-home dad?
That's kind of what I got that.
No, I wouldn't want to.
Oh God, no! Oh God!
No, but if she's bringing in most of the, she's, paying most of the bills and, bringing the groceries, whatever, the little stuff, you got to be doing something that's going to contribute into the relationship more.
My turn? Well, off bat, for me, I'm like, you know what, I'm cool with it. Baby, bring the bag on in. I'm cool with it. But honestly, when I give it some deeper thought, I'm like, okay, would I really be okay with it? Honestly, probably not, because, let's be honest with ourselves. Like, I think I got a little bit of insecurity in that. In that state, like, so I'm like, okay. Because, again, like you said, it's like, it's a man, and maybe it might be a tad bit of pride there, but, like, maybe it's a man thing. Like, okay, I'm the man. I'm providing for me and my wife and the kids.
I think that's important. What they're saying is spot on, and I'm the same way that they're like, I kind of want to be able to provide for her. I feel that way as well. Like, I kind of want you to be able to provide for me, but just in general, providing financially is only one aspect of providing. Because you can provide for me financially and then beat me inside the head, do all these other ways that you're not providing for me, and you providing for me financially means nothing because I don't feel secure when you're around. I don't feel safe. Those are other ways that you can provide for her. So I think in the way of providing financially, just as like hype and nice, like you guys want that, it's equally as important for most women for you to provide in the other ways as well. So if it was a case where she makes more money or whatever, it won't matter to me if I'm making more money if you're not providing me that way, if you're providing for me in all the other ways. But if you're not providing for me financially and you're not providing for me the other ways,
gotta go.
And maybe that's another thing too. Deep down, we know that women want a man that can provide for them. And if we feel like we can't, that feeling of inadequacy comes, and we don't like that as men, especially when it comes to our women. So. Okay,
this is kind of a long one. I'm just going to read this question. I'm super excited about this one because a man actually asked this, and he wasn't sure if I was taking questions from men, and I was like, yeah, totally. Like, what do you have? So this is what he wrote. So he says, well, I've heard multiple women say that they are saving themselves for marriage, but I don't really know too many men that are or are willing to. So he would ask you guys, how do you maintain your walk with God when it comes to temptations of lust, indulgence of porn, etc.? And if you have dealt with already having sex, how are you able to fight against that in relationships and get on the right path? It's kind of a long question, but I thought it was really good.
That's a big one.
Touch on the first part.
Yeah,
it was kind of a lot, so just touch on
part A.
I think that men are willing. Like, if they find somebody they are loved and that person wants to, wait till marriage, I think that most men are willing, but the willpower is not there. So they're relying more. It's kind of like Pastor said. She said you got to rely on the power of the will that you set versus your willpower. And I feel like a lot of men,
it's a good game.
They're relying on the willpower, but they set their will, but when the willpower comes in, kind of throws them off. They're like, I just can't, I can't not do it, but
I gotta do it.
you said you will, so you can do it. So,
Okay.
sure.
So I think, man, I just lost everything I was about to say. I had some good stuff. You have to first desire to want to be whole. And if you're giving yourself to all of these people, you're giving parts of yourself to all of these people. I gave 10% to her and 16% to her. How can I ever be whole? So you have to first want to be whole. 2, pray about it. 3, get away from those things that are making your flesh bubble. You know what I mean? So that's it for me.
And I think another thing is kind of going back to what I said, like don't try to fight, just, I'm not gonna look at porn, I'm not gonna look at porn, or I'm not gonna have sex with her, I'm not gonna have sex with her. Yeah, you can say all day and night, but like if your spirit is not strong, kind of like we were saying, if you're not spiritually fit, your flesh is going to dominate every time. So again, like what Pastor said, when you starve your spirit, your flesh begins to dominate. So if you're full of the word, you're full of, you're consistently in your word, it's going to be a lot less likely for you to fall into sin once you're that full. But once you're empty, then your flesh is going to take over.
I have a video out, guys. It's an hour-long video. It's called Let's Talk About Sex. And I literally go from A to Z on why we should wait. And it's amazing. This person that asked this question actually like wrote me this like huge thing after watching the video about how much it blessed him. So that kind of dives in more deep on like sex in general. It's on my YouTube channel. Click on that video. It's called Let's Talk About Sex. Okay, we're gonna leave the video here, but thank you guys so much thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. Thanks for clicking on it, watching it. Will Engage here. You can find them on social media. I'll link their stuff down below so you can follow them. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. Of course, subscribe to this channel. If you enjoyed this video, you want to see more like this, subscribe. You can follow me on social media as well, Gabby with Gabby. Like I said, their social media will be in the description as well. And thank you. I will see you in my next video.